All right, speaking of the moon, let's move a little further out. And not a NASA mission this time, but a Chinese mission just landed in January on the far side of the moon. So if you were here last month, Steve talked a little bit about this, the Chang'e mission and Yutu 2, which is the rover component. So it's a lander and a rover. The name for the rover actually means jade rabbit, which is cool because they see a rabbit in the moon, not a man in the moon. A rabbit, I know. I actually can see the rabbit a lot better than I can see the face in the moon, but that's just me. I think it's fun. It's got cute little floppy ears. So this little intrepid rover has been exploring the far side of the moon for 3 lunar days, which are much longer than our Earth days, obviously, and it's traveled about 416 feet, yes. So most of that was done in the first 2 days. This was a graphic that was put together here in the US to kind of map where it was. So there's its landing on the 3rd of January, and you can see here's the first lunar night where they had to stop, and again the second lunar night. And they haven't gotten very far yet in this 3rd lunar day, but that's because they're stopping and spending a lot more time taking images and really looking at the lunar surface and lunar features. So these were some of the images that were just released this month. In this one here, we get a picture of, we see a rock that's about 8 inches in size. This is zoomed in here. Why is this area circled? We don't know. So one thing that's different about the Chinese missions is that their media is very, very controlled, and they are releasing less information than, say, a NASA or a European Space Agency mission would. So we're really excited to see these images coming back from the far side of the moon and translating things from Chinese with Google Translate as best we can. And what we've gotten out of that is the spacecraft's healthy, it's doing what it needs to do. There's a spectrometer on board. It hasn't done anything yet, we think, so maybe that's what this is. We don't know, but that's okay. But it's really exciting to see this far side of the moon, and being the first country to be able to land a mission on the far side of the moon means they get to suggest names for different features to the International Astronomical Union, which is in charge of naming everything here on the universe, according to us Earthlings. And so they've already suggested a name, and it's been approved for their landing site, which I will not try and say in Chinese because I will butcher it. But it means Heavenly River, which is what the Milky Way was called in their folk story, The Cowherd and the Weaver Girl, which is a story we often tell in Space Odyssey, and is a really beautiful story about how the Milky Way was created. So stay tuned. Hopefully we will have even more updates in the coming lunar days and months to show you, and hopefully some science results coming in the next couple of releases.